B&A. I've seen a nice steady flow of cars, just car after car coming in for a flight, maybe heading out early this morning. Not seeing any kind of backup just yet. And if you are driving in from Wilson County, passing through Donaldson, having no issues, 40 westbound this morning coming into Music City. We did have a crash. Looks like it has just cleared. It was an injury crash over in the Nations near the fire station on Centennial Boulevard and 63rd Avenue North. But I can see my red dot has disappeared. So that means we have no active crashes in the area. That's some good news. Hopefully it stays that way. Your interstates are running on time. No issues there. This traffic just maybe just tuck them to the side. And if you are missing your shorts, good day to pull them out there with the 60s or maybe swimsuit. I don't know. We were talking about, might as well have a splash. Might as well have a splash. Well, here's a look at north side of town, 65 at Vietnam. That's this morning. Good representation of what we're seeing all across town. Nice dry roads, visibility is good, and no issues. Good start to our Friday. Hopefully it stays this way. Of course, have some incoming congestion here from the north side, but nothing too major. And going in for the northbound lanes of 65, no issues there either. Closer into downtown, here's a look 40 east of Broadway as that traffic is moving. All of the building lights are all on, glaring there in the distance of Music City. Your drive times looking very, very nice if you're about to head out. 37 minutes from Clarksville, 27 from Murfreesboro, and 14 minutes in from Franklin. The traffic report is brought to you by Trevecca Nazarene University. We'll be right back. Over in the Bordeaux area, going to be Clarksville Pike and Courtney Avenue. This is right at that split by Clarksville Pike and Ashland City Highway. So again, reported as an injury crash. If you take this way, might see some of those flashing lights, but I'm not hearing of any type of slowdowns as of right now. Right now, that's the only crash I have on the map. Wanted to show you if you are in Williamson County, 840 at 65 this morning. A very dark start, but you can see that 65 traffic underneath the 840 bridges right there. And today, you know what day it is? A big day in Murfreesboro at 24 at Salem Pike. There's a tiny little burger joint opening up there today. You might have heard us mention that earlier this week. Of course, we saw all the hype in Antioch and Lebanon a few days ago for In-N-Out. I'll have more details on what to expect if you live in Murfreesboro, or maybe what to avoid if you're trying not to get stuck in all that congestion for a double-double. And this traffic report, topic all over Nashville. Supporters say it creates needed housing, but neighbors worry it means more congestion and strain on the road. So today in Murfreesboro, so of course earlier this week on Wednesday, we saw Lebanon and Antioch, those locations open up. Murfreesboro, this location is going to be on Medical Center Parkway. So this is right across from the avenue at Murfreesboro. Kind of similar situation to what we're seeing in Antioch, where it was built right across from the Tanger outlets. So expect, if you're in that area right off of 24 and Fortress Boulevard, there to be a lot of congestion there today. Not sure yet if there's folks lined up overnight for the Murfreesboro location. Likely there probably are if they haven't had a chance to try it out at the other two. But of course, we still have one more coming in Franklin in the new year with those corporate offices. Do have an injury crash up here in the Bordeaux area, Clarksville Pike near Courtney Avenue, just past the Ashland City Highway split. And looks like we've got another one in the southeast side of town. We're going to look into that and get you some drive times here in just a few minutes. Nick. Look at your stop-so-go traffic signals in from 24 this morning. I've got you in the yellow from Antioch and Murfreesboro. That's because we are following a pretty big crash there between Harding and Bell Road. So Sky 5 is making their way to that crash. You can see them flying over 40 near 24 this morning. Here is a look at that crash. So right just past Harding, if you're heading inbound on 24, we've got the left shoulder, and it looks like possibly the left two lanes closed with that traffic really narrow passing by that. As of right now, what those drive times look like for you, about 30 minutes from Smyrna, 40 coming in from Murfreesboro. But I do expect those to grow depending on how quickly they clear that. Of course, that crash was in the left shoulder, left lane. So that's something that they're going to have to work to try to get to the right side. Eventually closing down 24 for just a few minutes to get that switched over. Here's a look, 65 at the 24 junction. Have a big crash up here in the right shoulder, right lane. Traffic is moving just like we saw on 24, very slowly past that. This one, though, reported as an injury crash. So working with dispatch to learn more details on that. As of right now, we're not seeing an impact on drive times, but I do expect that, again, to change here in the next few minutes or so as more people get on the road. 36 minutes, though, right now from White House. The traffic report is brought to you by Middle Tennessee Honda, Nikki D. And the roads are on the southeast side of town, and also near the 65 junction if you are driving in from the north. So we do have a crash still wrapping up 65 at the 24 junction, the inbound lanes. Two police officers officers here in the right shoulder as well as a car involved. That traffic, though, flowing smoothly beside it. Thankfully, this scene has cleared very quickly. So if you are coming in from somewhere like Jolton, Whites Creek Pike now going to save you a few minutes, but really the interstate, if you want to take your normal route, is not that bad as that is clearing. Unfortunately, like I said, a couple crashes along the 24 corridor this morning. It's 24 between Harding Place and Briley Parkway. Sky 5 is above this. This crash went from the left shoulder, left 2 lanes. They've now moved it over to the right. The congestion, unfortunately, that has followed because of this small crash is unfortunately massive this morning. So if you are coming in from the southeast side, we're now looking at about an hour in from Murfreesboro. Murfreesboro Pike going to save you some time if you're grabbing those keys and leaving right now. Hopefully, though, this can clear sometime soon. We can get you some good news and have these drive times lowered here just a little bit as we get closer to 7 o'clock. I'll send it over to you, Nick. Extending as more people are getting on the interstate. Those drive times for you, they're really sitting pretty steady right now. 41 minutes from Smyrna, 51 from Murfreesboro. Because these are clearing so quick, I'm going to have a look at what it might take for you to get in if you take Murfreesboro Pike as an alternate route. But as of right now, about 51 in from Murfreesboro. The traffic report is brought to you by Ashley. We'll be right back with more traffic and weather and news. Really evened out traffic now. We were seeing a good amount of congestion as folks were coming in from both 65 and 24 from the northeast side of town. But so far, as of right now, if you're coming in 65, it's 38 minutes from White House. No issues there anymore. Sky 5 is making their way towards Rutherford County. Of course, we have had 2 crashes along 24 inbound this morning. One of those has cleared, the second one close to clearing, but that inbound traffic is still, my goodness, a ways backed up this morning. You can just see all those headlights and that very beautiful sunrise on the very top portion of your screen. If you are thinking about heading out the door right now, what to do because those crashes are clearing quickly, 24 is going to save you some time as Murfreesboro Pike is backing up right now. So I would say even though there was a lot of congestion out there, still going to be your best bet this morning. So take 24, especially if you're coming in from Smyrna, Murfreesboro, anywhere beyond. For everyone coming inbound from the southeast side of town, but those drive times are pretty okay this morning, less than an hour from Murfreesboro. And speaking of, it is a big day. Double goodness is going to be happening later this morning. So if you haven't had it yet, you live around Rutherford County, or maybe don't want to fight the traffic at the other locations, could be an option for you. You can still get a good spot in line, looks like this morning. But just again, this is the 3rd one to open this week. Should be an exciting day in Murfreesboro. If you're trying to avoid it, avoid anywhere around the avenue for probably a few weeks until all this madness dies down. Nick. Murfreesboro Pike this morning because that is already significantly higher just because of that congestion, people trying to avoid the earlier crashes, and just because it is a stop and go situation with all those traffic signals. Closer into downtown, 40 West at the 2nd and 4th Avenue exit. We've got this crash moved over to the right shoulder, right lane right there. Police are still on scene, but it is slowing our inbound traffic in just past Silliman Evans Bridge. So heads up for my downtown drivers. That's my only big interstate crash that I have right now. Still have a crash reported up in Madison Myatt Drive, right up there. And then also the 24 West and Bell Road crash is what we saw just clear a few minutes ago. Some other drive times for you from Clarksville, 41 minutes, and from Franklin, 15 minutes. No issues on the south side of town, Nikki D. But the skies are clear, ready for a good day. And Nashville working to fill the wish list of thousands of kids in foster care, group homes, in-home mental health programs, and much more.
Keeping busy, wonderful, and good for the
We love the Preds. I love when it's colder and you go to a Preds game because then it just makes sense. The transition from outside to inside is just all the same.
All ice.
All ice.
Well, coming up after the